Okay, so in this unit, we talked about both congruence, which was in chapter 4, and we talked about similarity, which was in chapter 7. So I'm going to go through some of these problems and explain them to you guys. First problem here, it says in problems 1 through 4, triangle SAT is congruent to triangle GRE. Complete each congruent statement. So you're looking at where is the placement of the letter? Is it an angle? Is it a segment? So we're given problem number 1, angle S. That is the first spot in my triangle here. So angle G is going to be the congruent. Now you can also create a little triangle here if you want to help you visualize the corresponding pieces. Okay, number 2, I know that GR is going to be congruent to the same position of SA with a line segment on top. Next, we've got AT. AT is on this side, so we are going to also say that RE is congruent. Notice I started with R and not E, because that position again matters. And then I've got triangle ERG. So I started here, ERG is going to be congruent to triangle. Same position, we're going to start with TAS. Okay, now these next pictures, we're going to go ahead and state the theorem or postulate that we can use to prove whether they are congruent or not. If they cannot be proven congruent, write not enough information and tell what other information will be needed in order to prove the triangles to be congruent. Okay, so really quick refresher here, your triangle congruencies. We've got SSS, we've got SAS, we've got AAS, we've got ASA, and we have HL. Okay, we cannot do ASS because, as it sounds, it is a bad word. Okay, so those are our triangle congruencies. That's what we're looking for. Okay, problem number 5 here. We're given an angle T, we're given an angle S that are congruent. Y is congruent to W, and we have a side length here that's congruent to another side length. So they are in the same position, so we can go ahead and say that these two triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. And if we were going to write a congruency for that, we would say triangle TYN is congruent to triangle. We have to start with S here. Y corresponds to W, and N corresponds to J. Looking at number 6. Number 6 here, I've got an angle A is congruent to angle L. I've got a side length AE congruent to a side length LP. And then I have a side length that's being shared here. So we know that's going to be congruent to itself. So we have two side lengths and an angle. So our options here, two side lengths and an angle, are either SAS or that's it. So we have SAS because we cannot say ASS, right? SAS is why they are congruent. And if I were writing my triangle congruency statement, choose any letter to start with. I'm going to start with A. LE is congruent to triangle. Since I started with A, I have to start with L down here. So triangle L. And then we got to go in the reverse order. So LAP. Okay, moving on, number 7. I've got an angle A is congruent to angle L, and specifically it should be angle PAL is congruent to angle RLA. Okay, I also know that this this side length is congruent to itself, and I don't have anything else. I need 3 pieces of information. I have no right angles, so I can't use HL. So this would be not enough information, or NEI for short. We would also maybe need to know that PA is congruent to RL in order to prove side congruencies for those triangles. Or we could say if we know that angle RAL is congruent to angle P LA, that would mean this angle here and that angle there. We could go ahead and say that those two triangles are congruent with angle side angle. So either one of those would be another piece of information in order to prove those two triangles congruent.